What's going on, everyone? Kyle here from Does Kyle Dig It, the volleyball focused shoe review channel where we take signature and performance basketball shoes and test them for the sport of volleyball. As always, I'm your host, Kyle, both volleyball coach and volleyball player with a little bit of an unhealthy shoe obsession. And I've got a real treat for you today. This is a relatively unknown shoe by a lot of people out here in the West, but I'm a real big fan. These are the Li-Ning Liren 4s. As always, please like and subscribe to this type of content, especially if you enjoy these types of shoe reviews, and drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about the Liren 4s. That being said, let's go ahead and let's get into it. Now, these are the Li-Ning Liren 4s. The company that Way of Wade is under the umbrella of is a major Chinese retailer. They go by Li-Ning. Think of them as almost Nike China, all right? These are their signature basketball shoes, performance basketball shoes that aren't attached to any specific player. So they're relatively unknown. Not a lot of people have these. So if you do end up getting a pair of these, you're going to look pretty unique on the court, especially in this. This is the Dunhuang and Shola colorway. I got them specifically and custom ordered them online. These are a little bit hard to find and a little expensive, but I think that they're well worth it. Right now, I believe that the Li-Ning 4s, both the regular, which is the high top versions you see here, they also have a V2, which is a low top version. Those are online right now. I think you can get them as low as $140 to $150 depending on the colorway, because they have come out with the Li-Ning Liren 5. I have not yet tried that one, and it only came out in a low top, so we'll see what the future may hold as far as me getting a pair of those and getting them on the court and getting a good test wear on them. That being said, let's go ahead and get into the traction on these shoes. Now, just like everything from the Way of Wade brand, underneath the Li-Ning umbrella, these from actually the Li-Ning primary company are very, very good on the traction. The only shoes that I have comparable to these would be the Way of Wade Signature, Way of Wade 10s, or Way of Wade 11s. We've got a classic herringbone pattern that runs the entire way of the shoe, and then we've got a little bit of that TPU plate that is exposed right underneath. These stop on a dime. They have a nice, decently generous outrigger here, good for lateral stability, and even on dusty courts. Without any break-in period, these were my best performing shoes right out of the box. Did not matter what surface or what the quality of that surface was that I was performing on. They stopped and they bit hard. Also, real nice high-pitched squeak. Again, has nothing to do with performance, but if you do like a nice high-pitched squeak in your shoes, these are going to give it to you with that nice, this nice little rubber material they've got going on here. Now, just like in the Way of Wades, we've got full-length boom foam. You can see it exposed on the medial side in both of the shoes, as well as a little bit of more of that caging TPU plate that we've got there. And these, oh my goodness, these are springy shoes and very good on the torsional support as well. What I will say is that comparing them to kind of the Way of Wade line, which I think is a good apt comparison for these, is they're in similar price points for the shoe, and they're the top tier of what those companies are offering, obviously Way of Wade being underneath its own umbrella. You can tell that the materials used on these shoes is not quite as high quality as what's on the Way of Wade 10s or the Way of Wade 11s. But what you do get for that is a lot more breathability with this mesh material that runs all the way through the shoe, as well as you get really lightweight shoes. These things are coming in at about 12.5 ounces. These are some of my lightest pair of shoes that have come out in the last 3 years as far as new shoes are concerned, and they really, really perform well. Gotta say, lightweight on foot, nice and springy. Now, again, like I said, we've got that full boom foam that runs the entire length of the shoe, gives you really superior cushioning all the way through your jumps. I would say that because the caging on the heel is kind of this high plate that comes up as a low plate here, you're gonna get a little bit less cushioning support in your heel. But because of this high top version that I got, I still felt very secure, very locked down in the shoe. It gave me excellent performance, both with bounciness, cushioning, and traction across the board. Just like in the Way of Wade 10s, Way of Wade 11s, these are a 9.5, 10 out of 10 on almost every category across the board. My only caveat to these is that they are using a little bit less of that premium material that you would see in the actual Way of Wade signature line. We have nice, like kind of a leather material that runs here, but you can see I've already got a little bit rubbed here from like a little bit of use. These are some of my favorite shoes. So these have been in my lineup since I got them a few months back. I don't think I will ever take them out of my rotation because one, I think that they're some of the coolest looking shoes that I have. And in this kind of reverse mismatch colorway, they really pop on the court and they draw people's attention. But beyond that, these are some of my best performing shoes out there, especially if I'm planning on actually doing a little bit less setting reps for the day and I'm planning on hitting more. The lightweight support of these shoes is top tier. Now, as we move on up the shoe, in the heel here, nice plush cushioning on both sides, but nothing straight at the back of the heel. Not that big of a deal because we have a nice taper design that really is going to lock you in with that mid/high top design here. Once you actually get these laced up, you're going to have a nice cushioning support. But what I will say is that you're going to be a little bit tight in the shoe. So if you do have bigger feet, wider toe box, I would recommend going up a half size on these as you are going to feel a little bit better. Inside the shoe, we have kind of a nice like a foam strobe board. You are kind of standing right on top of that boom foam. So slap in whatever insole that works for you, performance insole, comfort insole. Go ahead and slide that in there. And this is going to be basically you just sitting on top of boom foam. You're going to be cushioned. You're going to feel bouncy. That's for sure. Now, again, like I said, the materials was my only caveat on these. And so in the tongue here, it is cushioned, but it is a very soft material that is connected to a one piece, like decoupled booty in here for the actual tongue of the shoe. Super breathable, super lightweight, but if you lace them down really hard here, you might feel a little bit of discomfort across the top of your foot. I didn't have any issues because the tongue here is still cushioned enough that I felt supported and I didn't feel like it was biting into my feet. Otherwise, these would not be in my rotation nearly as much as they are. Now, like I said, the design on these things is so cool. We've got a very custom Li-Ning logo that's using colors specifically from the provinces that I believe that these shoes are designed after. The colors really pop and they put a lot of attention to detail in these shoes. So what you're losing in a little bit of maybe that premium leather material with this more mesh pattern or the lighter tongue, you're making up for in looks and design on these shoes because these remind me of kind of, like a mid 2000s, like to late 2000s basketball shoe, but they perform like something that has the latest, newest tech in it from Li-Ning. Really cool shoe. Love the design. Now, as we move on here, let's talk about the box of the shoe. These came in this very, very cool golden box with, your normal paper wrapping, but custom for this particular colorway. I got to say, this box stands out amongst all my other boxes. So that was very cool that Li-Ning decided to put this particular colorway in something special like that. So wrapping up on these, like I said, maximum traction, maximum comfort, maximum bounce, 10 out of 10 shoe. These have been in my rotation for quite some time, and I don't plan on ever making them out of my rotation unless I just try to preserve the shoe a little bit more. But I rotate shoes so much that hopefully I won't wear them down too quick, or else I'll have to go online and try to get me another pair. I think it goes without saying, Kyle does dig these shoes. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Head down into the comments. Let me know what you think about the Li-Ning Liren 4s. Would you like to see a review of the new Li-Ning Liren 5s or potentially the lows on these, because I have not tried either pair. And as always, thank you very much for watching. This is Kyle signing off.